Hey guys, John Werner and John Morris have seen a lot of Baylor basketball games since the mid-1980s. They've seen this program at its lowest and say there were times where this type of Final Four run just didn't seem possible.
It's the best program in Texas right now. I don't think there's any question about that.
But it hasn't always been that way. John Werner from the Waco Tribune-Herald has been covering the Baylor Bears since 1987, 16 years before Scott Drew would take over in the midst of the darkest scandal in college sports. He fondly remembers the Bears making the NCAA tournament in 1988, but when that murder scandal hit, they still hadn't been back.
It was about as bottom of the barrel as you could get. I didn't know if anybody really wanted this job. It was so bad.
Not the on-the-court part. Those things happen to every school, but just the things that happened off the court, you would never wish on your worst enemy.
So what changed leading into the first NCAA tournament appearance in 20 years back in 08?
He started getting some pretty good players, Kurtis Quillin, Kevin Rogers, Henry Dugat, and those guys, and then they got Tweety Carter the next year, and those guys were the basis for that 2008 breakthrough.
John Morris, a Baylor alum, says everybody brushed off Drew's vision 18 years ago.
In Coach Drew's initial press conference, he said, we want to win conference championships. We want to go to the Final Four.
And now
the Baylor Bears are back in the Final Four.
Here the team is in the Final Four.
This year they were the favorites, and I think they played like it.
So how long should Baylor fans expect to wait for the next one? Morris says it won't be 71 years.
Next year? I'm not going to sell that man short.
Now, next year's Final Four is in New Orleans. But, guys, one thing both Werner and Morris said about Scott Drew is that although he's matured as a coach and improved in that regard, he still has the same drive, the same vision, and the same passion as day one back in August 2003. We'll have more on this Final Four coming up for you in sports. For now, live from Indianapolis, Kurtis Quillin, 6 Sports.